So I love being cozy. Like, I love being cozy. And if there's something in my wardrobe that's not cozy, there's like a pretty good chance I'm just not gonna wear it. And that's something I've discovered as I've been sewing. It's like, wow, I made this really cool thing, but the cozy factor, not above 700, and my internal cozy factor needs to be above 700. So, I love sweatshirts, and I have a sweatshirt right here that is pretty okay. I got it secondhand. There's nothing particularly special about it. I already cut the arms off. It's just a little tight, and it's a little kind of poop colored. So let's fix that. I have dye, I can fix that. But more than that, because that's just dyeing something, that's not that exciting. I have been working on some stuff that I haven't been sharing with y'all, and I can start sharing it now. I bought a loom, like a big loom, like a floor loom. And the first several projects I've done, I've kind of wanted to sort of test the waters. I haven't wanted to film them. We'll share all that later. But I want to insert a panel on the back of this sweatshirt with some fabric that I made. I made this and I'm really excited about it, and I'm gonna put it in the sweatshirt on the back. I have a plan. I think it's gonna be okay. Let's do it. So this is the sweatshirt that I have. I don't really love the color difference. It's kind of hard to see on camera, but this almost looks kind of greenish versus this more brown. I've already got some like bleach stains on it from when I've worn it to work a few times. So like, I don't know, it's fine, but it's a little well loved, and we can fix that. So the dyes I have are navy blue, evening blue, and then charcoal gray. And what I'm going to try to sort of have it go with is this fabric that I wove, and I'm not over that because it's still very exciting. I'm really freaking pleased with it, and I want to use it in something that I'm going to wear. So let's make that happen. Let's dye it. But not like diet as in like the diet industry, because fuck that. Let's dye it as in let's turn it blue. We're gonna shake well before using. I have chosen navy blue, by the way, because I think it will complement the gray of the fabric without being too samey. Also, we're not gonna do a dye test. We're just gonna roll with it. It's more fun that way. Welcome to my kitchen, by the way. This is where sometimes I cook things, but sometimes I dye things. This, though, I will say this pot is just for dyeing things. I have a special one that I don't use for cooking, so don't worry, I will not be eating this dye. So in reading the instructions on the back in terms of like how much dye to use, it's pretty much just like go by vibes. They don't really have a great deal else. It says for 3 gallons of water, I did not measure this water. Why would I do that? That would be silly. For 3 gallons of water, use half of the bottle. So we're gonna try like maybe a third of the bottle, because I don't think this is 3 gallons, but I could be wrong. I don't know how volume works. And we'll see what happens. It also said that it would be more effective if I used a little bit of dish soap. So I put in some dish soap ahead of time. Once it gets up to a higher temperature, I'll add in the dye, and then I'm going to pre-soak my fabric so it goes in wet to wet. And then we'll just see what happens. I feel like we'll just see what happens is like the unintentional subtitle for this entire channel. And I need to embrace that more. I need to embrace doing a little bit more chaos and being a little less of a perfectionist, because I think that's what's been holding me back sometimes. I haven't been making as much videos for you guys, and I feel like really bad about it. I don't like the way it feels. I want to do more. I want to share more. I want to play more. And I think the way to do that is to just go with vibes more and do a little bit more kind of chaos energy, less refined content. And I hope that you enjoy that, because that's the energy I've got. I stir for a half hour to approximately 1 year. We'll see what happens. All right, it has been almost a half hour. which is like the minimum time. And so something interesting happening here is it's taking the dye fairly well in most of the cotton body, but the stitching is not dyeing at all. So the stitching is still brown. I'm gonna zoom in and see if you can see that here. Powdered in my reach. Let's change the white balance so you can actually see what the heck is going on. Yeah, so if you see that there, the stitching is still quite brown. So that's interesting. My guess is it's like a nylon and it's just not gonna change, right? Like it is something of a different material that will not change. And a little bit of that is happening. This is the bottom of the sweatshirt. This is that sort of ribbed, elasticy area. And it has changed color, but not as much. So my guess is that's just more of a fiber that is not going to be as receptive to the dye. So I think I should not categorize that as part of my test for whether or not the dye has set, because that's going to be its own category of like fiber stuff. So there's always going to be brown stitching, and the bottom is probably going to be more brown than the top, and I just need to accept that. This spoon was not made for this much weight. Oh, if the spoon breaks, I'm gonna be so covered in dye. Welcome to the basement and the mop sink that we can get all nasty. So we're just gonna give this a rinse. It is still steaming, so nice cool water, give it a little rinse until it runs clear, then give it a wash. And then put it in the dryer and see what the heck it actually looks like. Da-da-da-da-da-da! Wow. Okay. This is the final. So there are some things that are good and some things that are neutral and a couple things that are bad. I think the color is a fairly nice, compatible colorway with the actual weaving that I want to incorporate. That's a good. A neutral would be the color is a tiny bit marbled, which I've experienced with RIT dyes before, and I don't know if it's user error or something else. It's not super obvious, but it's kind of like a heathered result. And the undercolor of brown, let me turn up the ISO a little here, just like blasty with light. The undercolor of brown is still present, it's just mostly darker gray, and then when you look closely, the brown is still visible. I'm assuming this is because it's not 100% cotton and there's some other fibers in there and they absorb the, they absorbed the dye differently. I think it's okay. I think it's okay. The heathered look is not bad, but it is, I would say, a heathered look. So that's the okay. The bad, I would say, is that as much as there are parts of the body that did not absorb the dye very well, the elastic on the bottom absorbed the dye very poorly. So this still looks like brown. And I don't think I want brown in here, or maybe it's fine. I have some choices to deal with this, right? The first choice is leave it, it's not a big deal. That's the easiest choice. And I'd be fine, I think, if it was just the bottom, but you'll notice here up at this V in the front, which is just like a decorative thing, you see that in hoodies a lot. Not only is the thread undyed, as discussed, it's probably fully nylon or something which just absorbs the dye differently, but this patch and the collar are also, they didn't take the dye. So I think what I'm gonna do is just cut them out. Yeah. We'll just make it work. Let's go play. Let's play. love these ergonomic scissors. They spring back so you don't have to like wreck your hands as much. But I've been using it for too many things and now they suck. So I need to sharpen them or get more than one pair of these because I've made it so they're not very fun to cut fabric with, which is a problem. I would like to cut fabric with them. Alright, behind the scenes here, I've been agonizing about what to do about the binding of the edges. So, I have this triangle in the front now. I pretty much like it. I have the triangle in the back now. Pretty much like it. But, I cut off the collar, and I would like to bind the sleeves. Well, the sleeves. The armholes, I guess. And of course, the bottom needs to get finished. So, I was trying to figure out what to do. I don't have enough of the sweatshirt material to do it, and nothing I have really color matches. I obviously do have some of this woven material left, quite a bit of it in fact, but I don't know that I have enough, so I was thinking I would use a linen, even though I don't have the right color. I think it's like color family adjacent. So I might try to do a binding for the collar and the armholes, and then see if I can do this plus a binding for the waistband, essentially. Try to tie it all together. But I think it'll all work. I think it'll be fine. I think it'll be kind of a neat thing. It's becoming a more involved project than I anticipated, just because, like, I am doing all of this extra stuff. Also, my iron, I think, died just now, so, that's gonna be extra exciting. I'm really sad. I really liked that iron. I'm hoping it just is having a bad day and it'll, like, turn on again, but it's not looking good, I won't lie. Yeah. Let's sew. Okay, I have the bindings on. I still haven't figured out my iron, so nothing is pressed and it's all wiggly, but I think it'll be fine after I iron it. So now the only thing left to do is figure out the bottom. Cut that off, obviously, but I'm thinking I'm gonna do, if I can make enough of this happen, like maybe 2 inches of this woven fabric, and I'll have to do it run in the opposite direction, which is annoying. 2 inches of this is my guess, and then a binding of the blue as well, just to keep it cohesive. I'll see how I feel like that looks. It's not keeping with the triangle motif, is my only concern. But worst case, I tear it off. Hee hee hee. I lied. I'm going to do just a plain, very large binding. I think it will be classier. Alright, I am delighted. I think it turned out really nicely. I really like the way it fits. I really like the way it expanded the back, so everything works well in terms of like comfort, because it's all about comfort. And I don't think it necessarily goes super well with the red undershirt, but it's the one I had on, and therefore it's the one I tried it with. Yeah, I'm like super pleased. It's really nice to be able to show off like the fabric that I wove. I wove that. I like being able to use it in garments, and I plan on using it in more ominous foreshadowing. Hopefully like exciting foreshadowing rather than ominous. Oh, we have a kitty friend. Do you like it too? Do you like it too? I think mostly she likes freedom. Yeah, I'm really excited about it. I'm excited too about like the prospect of altering more things I already have to be, oh, sorry, cat kicked the tripod. Altering things I already have to make them like A, more comfortable and fit better, and B, like more interesting and like less drab. I want to wear more exciting, weird things. Alright, since you made it to the end of the video, your reward is a sneak peek at the creature in my house that helped me make this. Because I have a very large floor loom in my house now, and I would love to show you it. Floor loom doesn't have a name yet. I have been calling it Big Boy. B-O-I boy, of course. Okay, memory card ran out of battery. I had to go delete some shit that I've already done things with. Yeah, let me give you a sneak peek of the loom. There's definitely going to be like additional content about the loom. I have just been a little bit selfish. I wanted the first few projects to be like just for me. And also I didn't know what I was doing yet. And I still mostly don't, but I know more now. And I kind of wanted to experience the first flush of loom all on my own. I've also been doing spinning on a spinning wheel, and I'll have exciting things about that in the future too. Ooh, I'm a little overexposed. Yeah, sorry. I overexposed myself in this shot, and you probably get some blinding whiteness, which is, to be fair, factual. Anyway, let me give you a sneak peek, and we'll roll the credits on that. Thanks for being here. It's good to see you again, hopefully, in that sort of like quasi-real way that we see each other on the internet. And yeah, see you in the future. Bye. All right. I feel like I'm David Attenborough, but as we come into the room, this is her. This is Big Boy. Yeah, let me get the light on, everything all prettied up. Oh, now we're overexposed. Bring that back down. Yes, this is Big Boy. These are some of my partner's amazing cross stitches. And this is Big Boy. Isn't she beautiful? This is a project I'm working on. It is entirely cotton. And this is what it looks on the back beam. And yeah, how's that for a sneak preview? Stay tuned. I will need to change the lighting in here before I film because it is just like, it is so yellow. This is what it looks like in real life. This is not an artifice of camera. It is this yellow in this room. There are going to be some light bulb changes. Anyway, thanks for sticking with me. Bye! Oh no, I'm so backlit. Okay.